broadcasting their Easter service over the internet.
Oh no, we are live. There you go. We are live. Wow.
Well, welcome to our Sacred Sunday spiritual service. What a blessing that we can join all of you on this just amazing, powerful, beautiful resurrected Sunday. It is a gift that we can really share this with everyone and be a part of this huge awakening that we get to wholeheartedly share this just divine love within ourselves, within you, and within this whole collective. So thank you for all joining us.
Wishing everybody the most beautiful Sacred Sunday. For those of you who are new to us, this is actually, it's 2 years. 2 years ago.
Anniversary, right?
2 years ago today, it was that we received the call to start this Sacred Sunday spiritual service. And the premises behind it was to open our home, to represent the opening of our heart and welcoming individuals to come and gather with us in this 1 hour gathering that is really under the premise of the I Am Presence. And to invite the I Am Presence within ourselves, within our hearts, and allow the love vibration that is through our Christed heart to easily vibrate out, and allow this to be a free service, because this is the universal law that it's our true abundant energy from this gift pass on the blessings to others, and also allow the community of light to join in and from what they're receiving in the gathering, pass these blessings forward to others. So we all vibrate in this vibration of love as one. And we're very grateful. Yeah. And this being an Easter Sunday today is extra special, and our service will be focused around this. And also in the midst of quarantine time, where we usually have many individuals here with us, but those of you that are joining us virtually, we're very grateful, and we really extend our love to all the beautiful souls that have continuously gathered with us during these 2 years. They're all with us here as we bless the service that you have joined with us. So we just ask you to relax back as we begin.
And we're so grateful for what you received today, for what you feel in this, to really pass this along. We've created a list of 50 beautiful exercises. Obviously, we're in quarantine mode, but we can still pass those blessings along through a beautiful smile, through a wonderful call, to a beautiful letter, whatever we can do, just to take the energy that we have cultivated from within our hearts to share along to family and friends, because this is really the spirit of our service, to allow this from the kindness and generosity that we are so honored to be a part of. And as we build that and as we share that, we just pass that along to all our dear sacred friends and families. So feel free, when that energy sparks within you, ignites within you, just to share that in whichever way that feels most comfortable to you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. So I'm going to hand this over to you.
Okay.
So, or use it as you like.
Okay.
Thank you, my love.
Can you use right here?
Sure, as you like. Thank you. One moment. So if you want, maybe I'll just have you do it this way. You adjust it however you like. So we are just adjusting our setup here. So welcoming all of you, welcoming to this space, welcoming the presence that has blessed all of us on this sacred Sunday. I love this gathering. It brings me so much joy. We didn't get to have it in March because we were supposed to be on travel. And when quarantine, all of this happened, we were supposed to have Joey Adams as our guest speaker. As each month we have a guest speaker, but we had to postpone that, and we knew we were going to continue forward with our Sacred Sunday. And today being Easter is extra special on numerous levels. Through the biblical scriptures and all of that, we will not be focused on that area. But this day has a very special meaning because of the resurrection of Christ, on the principles of I am presence, in which we are honoring, we look at this as a much larger picture. And especially during this time of quarantine, during this time of this great awakening, all of us have been given the opportunity to resurrect the Christ within. That's the Christ light, the solar light. And this beautiful Sunday is truly the sun that is arisen in us, the sun that has shined up on all these areas of darkness that we chose to incarnate, to embrace fully, so that we can resurrect it, transform it, transmute it back into light. So on this sacred Sunday, and particularly this Easter, blessed, beautiful Resurrection Sunday, we will focus on the resurrection flame. And we will focus on this beautiful transmuting flame and the power of it to help us remember what is it when we tap into this sacred flame that has blessed us in this incarnation from the Holy Spirit, that we have brought in to our form, and we are resurrecting to its fullness in our human incarnation. With that, I ask you to just relax back, breathe as the information that will be brought forth is somewhat coded with an activation within your own presence, your true I am. Your I am is the omnipresence of all oneness that is within the oneness of all. We are all connected to this oneness energy in this magnificent expressions of divine in our holy form. And that's why it's so important to heart this incredible garment, this garment that we have been coming into, so that when we can fully allow it to be embraced, we can allow the crystalline light to shine through in its full resurrection. We each have been going through 7 years journey from the precession of the equinox, 25,920 years. We go through this beautiful precession of the equinox. And what happens within this space, there are all these new ages that we're going to be going into. We've just started the age of Aquarius. That's another 25,920 years. These are all connected. It comes back to certain sonic vibrations. Within the sonic vibrations, we're being given the opportunity to come back to the sacred, holy sound within. The sound of the heart, the sound of the Christ light, the sound of that pure vibration of innocence right back in here, so that we can radiate it freely. In these last 12 years, in this last 8 years, as 12, 12, 12 took place and we ended this precession of the equinox, we each individually were given the opportunity to go through our individual resurrection, all part of the divine plan, to meet every part of our shadows that was in separation of the divine, so that we can bring through our resurrection flame, transmute the density, and rise from our ashes. It's a true rising of the inner phoenix. So within this beautiful, sacred, alchemical process, we are being alchemized within the inner Christ light. So today, being this resurrection, is really representing to me the global resurrection. Those of us who went through our awakening journey earlier, and these past 8 years, we have individually done our work. We have brought in and called in all of our soul aspects, all of our monads, all of the rays of light through the divine virtues back in. And each of them have been able to help these areas of ourselves that have been in separation of the divine to rise and become one again within. This oneness coming back in so that we can come back to our wholeness. No more in separation. And this inner community represents this outer community. This outer community that we are seeing that's now going through so-called the chaos. But there's an organized chaos within this so-called imperfection. There's a divine perfection that is calling all of us to be able to embrace it by the power of the I Am presence, by the power of the sacred flame, through this triple flame, to continuously transmute. And if you've noticed, you keep meeting all these different densities in your life. And with each one, when you're able to heart it, you're able to bring your resurrection flame, allow it to transmute out of you. It lifts you. And what are you left with? Compassion, the ultimate Christed gift. Each of us are being called to step forward as the Christed being. Jesus, the Christ, became the Christ. And each of us carry the keys and codes to become the Christ on this global golden age. Each of us coming from the golden sparkling light of love. We're being given the opportunity now as a collective to become the Christed beings, living in harmony, in compassion, in beauty, in complete trust and worthiness of the divine presence in us as we embarking this presence within. Take a deep breath and let it go. And with this here, in my morning meditation today, I met with my dear sister Cheryl Lynn in Spirit Side, who had created this beautiful, mystical medicine cards that many of you know. And one of the cards is the card of the cosmic Christ that represents love. And I wanted to share this with you briefly because I remember so powerfully the connection that we have, Sherilyn and I, to Master Christ in that reflection of the light that we got to experience when we met him and experienced that blinding light. That blinding light reflects the incredible power of divine love that is available to each of us. And each of us are being given the permission and the gift to meet the densest and the most challenging situation. So with that, the gift of the cosmic Christ love can step forward and take part in delivering and anchoring the golden age. So I wanted to read this with you very quickly here. This is one of her poems. She said, "His walk and talk, his honor and truth, whence the day he died back to his youth. A man in form, thy Christ, broad love he is and light, walked as human, yet retained pure sight. He spoke messages of love. He came from the heavens above. Thank you, Sherilyn. And she says, the Christ as a man walked and talked his truth, that love is all there is. Jesus Christ is the living, loving light of integrity. Look deep into his eyes, his soul, his heart, and allow his truth to penetrate your heart, freeing you from the illusion life experiences have taught. It is important to realize that the pure nature of divinity is love in unity. There is no separation in truth. The detached aspects exist only in view of our conditioned mind that perceives duality's illusion. With so much love and gratitude to Sherilyn, I'll take a picture of this, leave it later. This morning when I received her in the meditation, I just teared up in so much gratitude of the consciousness that recognizes this great presence in all of us. That has nothing to do with religion. That has to do with the heart of the man, the human that carries the rainbow light in it. When the man in form brings the man or the woman, doesn't matter the form of the physical, brings those rays of light, the virtues of divine within, lives as a crystalline Christed being, as those are the true gifts that are being brought forth to share for everyone. It sees no separation. So I'd like to get us into a couple of things so that we can together transmute what needs to transmute today and allow us to rise in our resurrection. So I'd like to invite you all to stand up, please, and join me in our hearts. So we have So put your hands in your heart and take a deep in breath in and breathe out. Get us here. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. And another deep in breath in. And let it go. Place your hands up as I call this in. In the name of my beloved I Am Presence, I call forth the power of divine love to be magnified in my heart and world daily. As I am love, joyous love, radiating love, unconditional love, divine consumes my shadows and transmutes them back into love. On this day, I am a focus of pure divine love, vibrating through every cell of my being, a living stream of pure divine love that can never be requalified by anger, hatred, dislike, and greed. All negative thoughts and feelings are now dissolved and consumed by the power of divine love, which I am. I am, I am, I am love. I live in the consciousness of love. I am love in its highest divine expression, uplifting all on earth. I radiate love. I am love in its pure action, healing, transforming, blessing all on earth. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Take a deep in breath in. And let it go. Let it vibrate in there. Let it go. Take another deep in breath in. And let it go once again. Now let us also bring in the resurrection and the light in this place. So you can repeat after me. Michael, you can repeat after me if you like.
Sure.
I am the resurrection and the life of my freedom into the light.
I am the resurrection of the light into the freedom of my life.
Okay.
I'm recording this.
Okay, put it on here, Doug.
Okay.
Just put this one on, just so you can participate.
Sorry, multitasking right now.
Okay. You can just stay right there and just repeat. Okay, breathe in. Let us call in the resurrection and the light as we allow the golden light to vibrate above us, asking Archangel Suriel and Archangel Christiel to assist in lowering, in touching our soul star chakra, to allow our auric field to be fully golden, so that we can allow this resurrection and the light decree to penetrate into our vibration, into our bodies, into our soul, all the way down, descending to Gaia. So repeat after me. I am the resurrection and the life of my freedom into the light.
I am the resurrection of the life into the freedom of my life.
I am the resurrection and the life of my physical body's perfect blueprint.
I am the resurrection of the life
And the light.
and the light of my mind.
It's like a career.
And the light of my perfect body's.
Okay, everybody follow me. Okay, here we go. We'll let Mike copy. We're going to start it again. It's okay. I am the resurrection and the life. This was a prayer that beloved Yeshua said in Aramaic to be able to bring in the resurrection and the life into his holy vessel so that he can deliver divine's work through his vessel. So here we go. Coming to your heart. I am the resurrection and the life of my... Here, that's my part now. I'm the resurrection and the life of my freedom into the light. I am the resurrection and the life of my physical body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of my emotional body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of my mental body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of my etheric body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of my spiritual body's perfect blueprint. I am the resurrection and the life of the ascended master's freedom and love. I am the resurrection and the life of the sacred powers of the healing flames. I am the resurrection and the life of the immortal freedom and unconditional love of the cosmic Christ. I am the resurrection and the life of the wondrous gifts of my divine essence. Breathe that in and let it go. And so it is. In our resurrection and the life, we step forward with our Christ light, the feminine Christ, the masculine Christ, the unity Christ is the crystalline light. On this day, on this sun-filled day, we rise as one humanity, one earth, in our resurrection flame, transmuting all density that we have agreed to transcend and transmute, so that the inner Christ, through the sacred flame, can walk in our humanly form. We are here as one divine, global team of light. Each of us part of the divine plan. Each of us representing a ray of divine with its profound virtues, living on Gaia's fifth dimensional consciousness, delivering the new golden age through our crystalline, purity, clear, diamond, golden frequency. So much love, everyone. Thank you so much for being present today. Welcoming your I am present as your greatest present that you gift to yourself and to all on earth. Oh, as I welcome Michael now to do his part.
Hello, dear hearts. It is a blessing, it is a gift, and it's an honor that we can all come together on this day. For when I awoke this morning, the first thing that came through me was to give the highest level of honor and blessings to the ancestors, to the teachers, to the masters and the elders that have walked this path before us. For it is no accident that on this day, my grandmother turns 100 years old. Imagine, 100 years old, a century of life that has been put before us. And not just this grandmother, but all grandmothers, all grandparents, all elders that have seeded the path before us. Before, in this great awakening, there is so much that is awakening within us, and of reverence of what has been gifted to us, what has been embraced within our hearts that has allowed us to get to this point. For just yesterday, I was in the park writing in my journal, and just imagine all the qualities that the elderly, the masters, and what my grandmother has placed before us, the strength, the perseverance, enabling themselves to move each and every day. And there, in my sight, was this elderly woman with crutches that could barely move her feet. And she was taking each foot with almost a second in between, walking to the water with nobody around, with not even a soul to help, but just this honor that she was capturing this sunset, this blessed moment. And I sat there just smiling, looking at that power within her, that wisdom that here she is on her own, in her complete strength, that she was just taking every little step, each moment to this wooden little pathway to the water. And it just touched my heart to watch this woman, to the point that I actually had to walk down and speak to her. And I said, do you realize how much inspiration you've given me? She's like, what? I've been doing this for 20 years. She's like, I have cerebral palsy and I do this every day. I'm like, is anyone around? She's like, yeah, my son is walking around, but I do this each and every day because I know it's the strength and the will of my heart. And I was like, wow. I was like teary-eyed because I was like, do you realize what you're giving the inspiration, the hope, because of the will of what you do? You're using God's strength and your own divinity within each step. And she goes, I just take one step at a time each day. And I remember that because I remember my grandmothers, I remember teachers, I remember masters expressing that it is here for us to bring our beautiful divine energy each moment that we can possibly be blessed with. Each day, each thought, each action, we're given this opportunity to be blessed upon and to honor that, to bring that into its fullest expression of life. And so as I watched the sunset and I turned over and I said, "Excuse me, what is your name?" She's like, "Edie." I said, "Thank you, Edie. Thank you for demonstrating to us what it is to come from your divine strength and divine will. Because isn't it the elders that teach us the tradition, that teach us the culture, the value, the beautiful offerings before us that has allowed us to be where we are? Isn't it the elders that embrace us, that slow us down on our busy path and put their arms around us? It's going to be okay. You're going to move through this. You're going to make it. We've lived many lives to get to where we are. Isn't it interesting that there's just this remembrance from our grandparents that they've allowed this golden path before us and set the standard, set the level of compassion, of love, of light that they so naturally do because of their own experience. So today I want to just bow to these elders, to all the men and women, ascended masters, angels, hierarchies that are here, that have laid down this beloved path for us to rise. And not only to rise, but to support us, to hold us, and to remember that we're always protected, that we are always in a state of safety and security, to call upon our beautiful wisdom keepers, our angelic, beautiful spiritual guides, every being that has been brought before us, every ancestor that has allowed us to come into the fullness of our path is here to be honored. As I honor my grandmother today in the 100 years where she sits by herself, but I'm sure with her elders, the ones that have nourished her, even though she has dementia, she can barely think, even though she is in a place where she can barely possibly remember day to day, but she's light a path like so many others. She's given the opportunity for us to look beyond our limitations. Just as this woman was walking in crutches, she was going beyond the limitations of what her physical legs could do. She was taking every moment to get to the golden sunlight just so that she can embrace it and then turn over and be like, wow, look where we are. We're upon God's greatest gift in front of us, just in the simplicity of life. And I turned to her and I said, thank you. Thank you for this moment that has opened my heart and to remind us that this path, this beautiful golden awakening before us is within our sight to fully embrace. And it just touches the depth of my heart to recognize, to celebrate, to value and honor these beautiful elders that have come before us, that have allowed us. So today, I would love to take us into a beautiful journey in bringing our elders to us and allowing the messages to come forth in the greatest reverence and honor that they walk with us. Closing your eyes and taking a nice deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Letting your thoughts go. And just bringing all your attention to this present moment. As we just allow our body to soften, to relax, and to bring all focus into our inner heart. In visualizing this beautiful fire in nature. As we sit in great reverence and visualize and allow and invite our dear, beautiful, sacred elders in. If it's a beautiful teacher, a wonderful master, a beloved grandmother or grandparent, invite them now next to you and feel their great presence sitting beside you by this holy fire and allowing this message to come forward. Breathing in the remembrance of the great magnificence you are. Breathing in the great remembrance of the great strength that you are. Breathing in the great magnificence of the great love you are. Breathing in the great magnificence of the great light that you are. Breathing in the great magnificence of the great divine that you are. And allowing this beautiful elder, this beautiful ancestor before you to share a golden divine message. Allowing this moment, this resurrection flame, to be fully embraced in the great honor, in the great respect, in the great love of the elder within you, the wisdom that lies within your heart, and the strength that pours from your spirit. Filling yourself up as this transmuting flame washes, clears, and brings you back into the golden path of your divinity. Breathing in and breathing out. Bowing in great honor and thanks to the sacred elder, the master, the teacher, the divine that has come forth, and welcoming the message before you. As we slowly come back to our bodies, slowly allowing ourselves to come back to this world, slowly coming back to this reality as we breathe in and breathe out. And as we're breathing in with our eyes closed, listening, feeling these precious words in the blessings that have come before us. In the name of the great I Am, I call for the light of 1,000 suns from the great central sun. Angels of violet fire, beloved Saint Germain, beloved Zedekiel and holy amethyst, Amritas, ruler of the violet planet. In the name of God, I am that I am. Saturate the earth in all her evolution in limitless waves of violet fire. I call for the action of the violet transmuting flame and the action of the will of God to manifest on earth now and forever, in ever-increasing spiral of divine perfection. I call for all discord in God's holy purposes to be miraculously swept and transformed by the power of the violet flame into divine love and harmony for the restoration of earth and her people into her original blueprint of perfection that was originally intended. Violet flame, oh violet flame, in the name of God, flood the earth, her people, and all her kingdoms with oceans and oceans of violet fire until every particle of life is restored to divine perfection. May peace and love be spread throughout the earth. May the earth abide in the aura of perfect love. May the earth abide in the aura of peace, love, and freedom. I give thanks that it is done now according to God's holy will. And so be it, beloved I am, beloved I am,
Beloved I am.
beloved I am.
Beloved I am.
In great gratitude, in great honor to Saint Germain and the violet flame and all the ancestors, the elders, the masters that have walked before us, that has cleared this path, that has opened up our salvation for humanity. I bow down in greatest honor, in greatest respect, to fully be present in our human nature, in fully accepting and fully surrendering and fully allowing everything in this moment to be. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for being here. And thank you all for celebrating the wisdom of the elder within you. the wisdom of all the elders that have touched our heart and the ancestors that have brought us on this golden path. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Stay here.
Yeah.
This way, good. So that was beautiful. Not yet. As we close up, maybe remember the sacred flame. This holy flame is the triple flame inside our hearts. That is part of the transmutation and transformation of all that is in separation of our divine. The first flame is the blue flame, in which the will of God, or the will of divine, has been bestowed upon us, which we go through many initiations to allow the divine will to step forward instead of the human will. The second beautiful flame is the flame of wisdom and illumination, which is a yellow flame, yellow golden flame. This beautiful ray gives us, through the experiences that we have had, to bring the wisdom through and allowing this beautiful, enchanting ray of light to see clearly, so the human eye is not doing the seeing. And the third flame, being the pink golden flame, is the cosmic Christ love flame, which represents the unconditional love that is part of our divine nature, to be able to deliver it into this dimensional reality in the human form. And these three flames together give us the power and the tools to go through each day with the presence of the I am and the sacred fire, the sacred flame, to transmute all that is not part of our divine holy purpose. And we allow them to transmute. So as we wrap up, through these beautiful sounding chimes, there will be some sound of the heart. And I welcome you to just breathe it in and breathe out, visualizing this triple flame in your heart, spiraling and spinning so gloriously and beautifully as your divine Magdalene keys and codes and the divine masculine Yeshua keys and codes gather in oneness through the unity Christ consciousness radiating out from your heart in all directions. Breathe into your heart and breathe out. Oh Take a deep breath in and allow it to ground all the way through your body, all the way out of your feet, all the way down to the center of Gaia. And one more time. Ground energy. So much gratitude to the Kushi chimes and to all of you for being present today, gifting us with your sacred presence as you rejoice in your beautiful holy flame your dazzling golden light, your crystalline, glorious presence. No greater gift can be given on this earth than the highest gift of your love. That is the highest power, the highest virtue, the highest gift. May you allow yourself to give today by the gift of your holy, Christed, resurrected, I am presence through your sacred flame. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for honoring this sacred moment on this beautiful day and really cherishing what's before us. Honey and I are just so thankful to really take this time to join our hearts, our hands, and our spirit to share this message, to pass it along, and to feel the beautiful vibrations that are emanating outward, that are awakening, and to really bring forth that deep gratitude of what's ahead of us in this great awakening.
That all is part of divine plan. What a blessing this quarantine has been, so that we can bring the golden age together, all of us as the resurrected flames, the true Christed beings. Aho, everyone.
Aho.
Thank you.